Yo, morning guys. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is a psychiatric, self-therapeutic, multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives. Those in the self-improvement process to reach the highest goals and ambitions that we set for ourselves, as well as those around us. So if you'd like an introduction, a brief summary into the Ahn Rho Project, I break it down into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, so on and so forth, as well as the content, live stream schedule, and copyright-free music, and so on and so forth. You can find that all in the past 3.5 years, straight to January 2021, and further and beyond for more updated versions. So without further ado, let's dive into the second segment today, which is, of course, as usual, there are about 10 different segments roughly spanning across 15 minutes, so it won't take up too much of your time. But the second segment is really just table content. So what we're going to run through, the first one was our introduction. Third one after this is the last of the sort of introductory bit. Covers disclaimers, things to just keep in mind as I'm doing a live stream about honesty and just keeping things non-PC and stuff like that. After that, we dive into segments 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 4 segments focus on digital stuff, information, for example. So the first one, fourth, would be the directory. It covers the live stream, the video, podcasts, any sort of recording. And then we move on to the 5th segment shortly afterwards, and that is into, I believe, media files. So what you see on the left-hand side panel, for instance, what you see is what you get right there with philosophy, education, media, information, knowledge. And then we move on to the 6th segment and 7th segment, which are kind of tied together. Photography is one of them. Photography, including food, dietetics, nutrition, purchases that we made of equipment and stuff, on so on and so forth. And that's also linked into the measurements, the Excel spreadsheet, the database segment, which is segment 7. It has to do with financing, budgeting, and so on and so forth, as well as tracking our fitness and health. Moving on, the most active and engaging part of the stream is segment 8. If I move that down, you see that's region D1 in the backdrop. Region D4, we break up the room into different segments and different regions. And so that would be the more active part of the stream. We cover things physically and walk around the room. Segment 9, after that, we sit down right where we are. Again, more physical, but we just kind of sit here and we just talk about relationships, things that we can't really visually show you. We'll be working through that together, just kind of like storytelling, once again, commentary. Finally, 10 and 11. Segment 10 is just, of course, if you're on the bottom left-hand side, you have any comments and questions. It's a very serious stream, it feels like, but you can leave any jokes or memes, and that's fine for me as well. I'll try to get back to you guys on the bottom left. And then at the very last segment, just a take-home message, take care of your health and finance, and so on and so forth. And without further ado, let's just dive into the third segment, which is, like I said, disclaimers. So quickly, before we get started, first thing you should know is that, of course, this is I have to be real, raw, and genuine. I will cover things that are maybe non-PC in nature. It covers emotional baggage. I won't shy away from the good, the bad, or the ugly. And that's because the Ahn Rho Project is by analogy, in part, a time record of my life to look back on maybe 30 years down the road, or so on and so forth. Second thing I have to mention, of course, is that this is a high utility stream. If you can't tell that all this stuff that I'm going through, it's very purposeful, it's very driven. It means that there's a lot to get through, but that doesn't mean that you can't put jokes or memes or whatever to lighten the atmosphere. That's fine with me as well. Just understand that for me, this has to be a benefit to me, as well as maybe eventually for people in the future watching as well. And the last thing, of course, by analogy, not only is the Ahn Rho Project a business or a project or a journey and a time record, a time capsule, but it's also like a game, applying game theory over to life. And that's another way to look at it. So with that being said, let's move on to the 4th segment. So in terms of directory, yesterday we just had one audio recording. That's why I didn't take a screenshot of it, but I did have one recording, and it lasted about 8 hours from straight when I went to the workplace to coming back. And it covers some stuff, just some new developments, a new employee at the workplace, as well as coming back to Rez, one of my guardians, which I've been putting her through therapy. I've been her psychiatrist, her marriage counselor, pretty much trying to take care of her health as well, and get her started with a business. So there was some progress there. She had some samples, and we had some talk about email and stuff like that. Okay, after that, so that's the podcast, right? the audio recording. In addition to that, I'm going to lower the music. We also have this live stream itself. So it was a live stream and audio recording, and that was the majority of the directory for yesterday. Moving on to the fifth segment, we can say that there are digital assets, right? So we can talk. Let's move the photograph to the bottom, and you can see on the left-hand panel. Let's move to center, deadpan center. This from Stoic Reflections, as usual, a page that I do follow. Of the few things I follow, is one of them, aside from School of Life. So again, not my stuff, not my shit. If you want to find this, you can just go to Instagram and find it there. Just giving credit and acknowledgments to that. That is not my stuff. I have learned to seek happiness by limiting my desires rather than by attempting to satisfy them, by John Stuart Mill, classic philosopher back in the days, who vouch more for, I believe, it's not virtue ethics, but it's more along the sides of minimalism kind of, and self-restraint. Whether or not you agree with this is up to you. Of course, I think there's a healthy balance here, right? But this one tends to venture a little bit more on one side than the other, and it's something that we actually need more often in society today for the past few decades compared to maybe say 50 years ago, when it's kind of the opposite. Okay, move on to this right hand side. So just a pendulum swing. It was too far conservative one end, and now it's too far liberal on one end. It's just finding a balancing act. That's just how human history goes. Anyways, moving on the right hand side. So don't get rid of that and say, that's again, shout out to Stoic Reflections. Moving on to the right hand side, we have another digital asset. We have right here is just the name of the live stream. Says Mass Supplies, and it does refer to, like I said, went to 4 different locations: Shoppers, No Frills, Walmart, and so forth, to purchase groceries, things that need to workplace, gifts for my colleagues as I'm resigning, and so on and so forth, and all that kind of stuff. And so in total for 2 weeks, about $143. And I already covered this previous live stream, so I'm not going to run through the numbers on top right hand side, but you can just find that yesterday's live stream is all there. Okay, so that's what the title is all about, Mass Supplies, and it does feel like a chore. That's why I had it up there. Okay, so let's move on to the 6th segment, and we're going to move through some photographs that we've had in the past 24 hours, which is very, very minute. We don't have very much. It's just a photograph of me with my equipment as it came back, because it's sweltering outside, 35 degrees Celsius, and I figured, I want to get a capture of basically what it looks like right now in my summer wear sort of uniform going to work, my work uniform, compared to my work uniform in the winter. And so there's just a little comparison there, and that's about it. Aside from that, I already went through all the groceries, so in terms of photography yesterday, so we can just dive right into the last digital segment to turn to the laptop, and we have the Excel database here, which, Excel's not a great way to do databasing. You want to use MySQL or Microsoft Access at the very least, but I don't have any of that set up yet. I have to learn to use that kind of software. But right now we can have, there's like 6 different spreadsheets here. You can't see too much detail, but here's the inventory tracker. It covers all the food, inventory, equipment, supplies that come in and out, kind of like a business. Also, all the auto recordings, all the media assets. So like I said, there was auto recording. We did all the budgeting here. We did all the recording, all the office work, kind of in a sense. Here's the fitness tracker. In terms of broken down to digestive, exercise, excretion, do I just take a shit? Do I go to the washroom, take a dump? Did I get enough water for the day? All that kind of stuff. Am I waking up on time, going to work? So obviously I'm still in sort of this kind of recovery phase for the past 9 to 10 months, trying to put my guardians through psychiatry, myself being their psychiatrist, as well as a lot of other things like their business coach and, helping them find a job. It's been fucking nuts. I've been going insane. Yeah. Anyways, that's still my responsibility, and it's my fault for not having been able to manage everything. Okay, moving on. We have, more stuff, and that's about it. Okay, so it's not that important, honestly. There was something there, by the way. One spreadsheet tracks all the things all the interactions I have with people online as well as offline, but whatever, I don't have time for that. Let's move on to the most important portion of this segment. So let's stand up this live stream. This is segment 8, and this is segment D1. Section D1 and D4. That's the majority of today's stream. We're turning to the side right here real quick. Just want to mention in A788 there are some new things we took down from region C1, C2, just the supplements. So of course, these are health sciences. We have these 2 health packs, new ones. I'm starting to run out, as well as a Biomega that I didn't realize that I still had. I thought I had run out completely out of stock. Anyways, these are my own business products, of course, commissioned agent, but we have this kind of stuff here, and I need to start taking some replenishing some of the new things on the side here that I've run out. Okay, so that's that. I gotta take out the wrap and then toss it to the side, but aside from that, everything moves over to A5 and then we'll be done. Okay, so very clean on that side, but D1 and D4 is a huge mess. So let's try to wrap this up here. We've been trying to get through to this for almost 4 days now. So D1 here, this is actually all of almost everything here with exception of the banana peel and the garbage inside, as well as this kind of COVID screening sheet from my workplace. The rest of the items here come from about 10 days. So this is last week's groceries, not this week's. And so let's run through it real quick. We want to cover the garbage first that came from yesterday. So we have a COVID screening sheet right here. We also have some trash in here with a banana, which I eat like a banana a day kind of thing, like an apple a day. Anyways, but this is from just about 3 days ago worth of groceries, as opposed to the stuff on the back here. So let's run through everything here. All of this garbage, gotta take it away. We have this kind of Indian snack food here. We have all this stuff from Dollarama as well. This is pizza snack stuff, but basically at least it has some fiber in it. It's not all that healthy, but it is stuff that I did purchase. Most of the items here are bought on sale. Also, I'm not eating that well because by and large I don't have enough time right now, and that's just really a sorry, sad excuse, but it's the truth right now. So eventually I have to pick myself back up. It's my responsibility, my fault. You have this spice bun for no frills. A really easy way to get something to eat with protein. Too much sugar though. Just so that I can take my supplements when I come back from work and consider that like a meal. We have these crackers here, again, just on sale. White cheddar. We have this scorching hot cheddar. Both of them, again, just kind of junk food, high on sodium, not good for you. This box is empty, so I gotta break it up. Oh, it's not empty yet, but it soon will be. And then I'm gonna crack it up, flatten it in the recycle, and toss away the stuff on inside. Same thing with this coffee crisp here. There's only one single thing inside, so again, purchased from No Frills or whatever, I don't know. I take that out. This is trash, maybe toss on the side with bananas here. You know, on the floor right there. Actually, this fell down from the wall. It's supposed to stay up there, but you have no home, it says. So you know what? Why don't we just toss all the trash down here for a second here so that we can maneuver everything properly. We have only about 4 minutes left, so I'm gonna try. About 2.5 minutes left on stream, so I have to be very careful with the way I budget my time. We have also some some more stuff here. That's class 2 items. So class 4. I bought this as to return debt. It's like a form of debt repayment to my guardian, so I ate that. I'm gonna give that away, so that's good. This is trash, like I said. So now we can work through all this stuff here that's not food related. We have these gift items here, again, 4 LED headlamp. I have one on the table already. We have the batteries that we purchased, so we can start using that for my colleagues when I leave. Just kind of gift item. Some AAA batteries here. Again, inside the container, it's very hard to see what part numbers there are that we're receiving from container from their suppliers, and so I just want to give them headlamps. So I'm gonna buy several of these if it becomes something of use, and then I can gift it all to them. We also have all these utility straps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 utility straps. I need to take off again from Dollarama. Take off all this, cardboard packaging stuff, and then toss it into recycling. And then I'm gonna make a drop like out of these using the remaining ones on the table as well. And then there'll be one for me as a spare. I already have one already, and then I'll make one for my colleagues because he asked for one almost a year ago. So it'll be like a gift. We also have some on the back here, some leftover stuff. So we have this new sensitivity protection toothpaste. I need that, so I'm supposed to move this over to region B1, and that's where it's supposed to go. So I'll leave it right there. Took a scan of it already, documented that. Same thing, took a scan of this as well, the spoons. And then we have some ultimate bar mix here, which is just, again, food that I purchased last week. So now all this stuff here, especially this clipboard and this box, I should probably move over here to region D4 on top to give it some mass, some weight, to flatten these bags, because I'm going to use that for the bedding over on region G. That's the bed. Okay, we have about 30 seconds left. What can we cover really quickly, because we can't do it all on time. But that's the grocery bag right there from this particular week, so like just 2-3 days ago. So here 2 bags of stuff that were on sale. Doritos jalapeno cheddar and Old Dutch jalapeno cheddar. So this is all trash, obviously unhealthy as shit, but it was on sale. I bought it, and so all this stuff here on the floor, garbage, as well as some stuff here too. And then I can reorient everything, especially gift items, move it to the side. I'll figure things out. They don't belong here. Anyways, I gotta go. Gotta go to work. So see you tomorrow.